Hey guys, so the current project that I'm working on the channel is the e-commerce website with NextJS and I don't think I got to React yet. But I was considering using NextJS for server-side rendering of React. However, I don't think that's such a good idea since it seems pretty experimental at the moment. But I figured I should still do a video on how to set it up because it is pretty interesting. So we're gonna use this npm package as the connector of Nest and Next, and there's some documentation here. I would advise you to go check out their GitHub because they also have an example inside of this directory here that you could take a look at. But I'm just gonna do the setup here, and you could check it out. I guess I don't know. Give me 1 second while I bring up my thing. All right, so there's quite a few dependencies that we need to add before we can get started. So bear with me while I bring up the list, and hopefully I don't misspell anything. All right, so I'm using Yarn for this. Oh, by the way, this is just the normal scaffold for a NestJS project. I just did a nest new and then this thing, and now we're gonna add more stuff to it. So we're gonna do yarn add, and then let's write down all the stuff we need. So we need next, which is the server-side rendering library. We need nest-next, which actually I should bring this up. Control plus. Oh, it's this one. There we go. So we need next and nest next, and then what else do we need? We need React DOM for it to work with next. We also need Babel plugin proposal dash decorators and /next TypeScript. I think that's everything. So those are all the packages that we need for configuring Next inside of this project thing. My nose is itchy. Alright. And then while we're at it, we're also going to add in some dev dependencies. Yarn add -d. And we're just going to add the types for next. So that TypeScript will let us know if we're doing anything wrong, which is always good. And let's open up our package.json. And you should have basically all of these added. And next down here, and alright, before we do any more code, we're gonna do some more configurations. So we need two files. In the root of our project, we're gonna have a Babel RC, and we're also gonna have a next.config.js. Let's open up both of those. Babel RC, next config. So Babel is going to be a little easy. It's just going to be an object. Presets, plural. And in here we're going to have next/Babel, as well as Zeet next TypeScript /Babel. And then we have to add in the plugins for the decorators. And so this is an array with another array inside of it. At Babel /plugin proposal decorators. And then second index is going to be an object with legacy equals to true. Why is it doing that? All right, and This is just to let the Babel configuration for Webpack to understand that we're going to use TypeScript decorators. That's what this thing is. And it's also going to use TypeScript for Babel, so blah, blah, blah. Then the next config is going to be a normal server-side JavaScript thing. So module.exports equals to, actually, it's not an object, because we're going to import, no, not import, we're in vanilla JavaScript, so we're gonna do const with TypeScript equals require, and this is called @zeet / next TypeScript. With TypeScript. And inside here is an object called use file system public routes false. Okay, so this is going to be injected into the Webpack configuration that is inside of node modules, which is technically invisible to you guys, but it's going to allow us to write TypeScript JSX stuff. Oh, one last thing. In our TS config, we need to allow us to write JSX. So all we have to do is add that property. Make sure to declare that it's the React version of JSX, so it doesn't transpile to Vue or just HTML. Okay, that should be all the configuration we need. I believe that's it. So next we're gonna do the fun part, which is actual code. So in our main.ts file, in our source directory, it is gonna look a little different. First we're gonna change the variable app is gonna change to server. This one's actually supposed to stay as my app. There we go. And these two should be lowercase. Sorry about that. Okay. We're gonna import from next. We're gonna get the render module, which is what we're going to use to do the NextJS portion of our application. And it's just be app equals to next, and this next is importing next. Yep, and inside here we're gonna set the dev environment based on our environment variable of node in to the string of production. So it's always going to be in the development environment unless we set the node environment to production. And then we're going to have a promise here of app.prepare. Then the server does this thing, and then we also need to set a renderer. Renderer equals to server dot get render module. Renderer dot register both server and the app. All right. So let's see, everything looks pretty much correct. I'm also going to add another environment variable because why not? Okay, So hopefully I didn't lose you yet. We have the render module, which comes from the connector NestNext, and we have Next just as the vanilla version of server-side rendering, and we have to add in all of this to our async function so that everything is connected properly. So Nest and Next are playing well together now. All we have to do now is make the views and also the server serving the views. So first we need a view directory. Make directory -p pages / views. This is going to be the default directory where things are served. The root directory has to be named pages because that's what Next wants. You could customize views by adding another thing in here. I think it's called view. I don't remember. It's like views dir or something. But that's fine. We're just gonna use views, and then I'm just gonna make a simple file for now. View. Just call it index.tsx. Open that up. Do the normal React boilerplate. Export const index div. Did I have anything special in here? I think I did. Oh, and then we can also add a head tag. And the head tag comes from, okay, nothing there. And it's a default export, I believe, yep. From next head. And this is where you can add things outside of the body, such as the title. And then we're just gonna do hello world for now. And here we'll put an H1. Hello world from NextJS. And I'll just make a div here with paragraph, add some lorem ipsum. That should be good enough for now. And all we have to do now is serve it up. So let's go into our app controller. We're gonna override this get hello. You don't have to change the name of it, but I'm gonna change it to get index. And we don't have to return anything. We just have to add the render decorator from NestJS. And in here we have to specify what file we're rendering. And we're gonna render the index.tsx file, so we just have to type in index. And if I didn't miss a step, I think we're ready to go, so all we have to do is yarn. Of course, I have to be inside my terminal. Yarn start dev. Alright, while that's going, localhost 3000. Is it 3000? Yeah, it's 3000. So let's see. Why is it not doing it? Did I miss something? Index, app controller. Gets, render index. Oh, I did miss something. We forgot to import a module. So render module. And this, I believe, comes from NestJS. Yes, it does. So once it compiles again, we can refresh the browser, and we start getting stuff. The default export is not a React component in page views/index, and that is because this has to be a default export, which is kind of annoying. What's this called? Index? There we go. So here's our page that we have, and it's being served from our server. If we do an inspect, this is not going to be very helpful, but you can see that it's getting all the stuff. So next, we have the head tag, and the title is being populated by Hello World. We could change this to something else. If we save, that's not the save button. Save, that changes, and so does the actual name. Now this isn't very helpful because it's just a static page, but what we can do is actually have a property on index. Let's do index dot, I think it's called get initial props. And we can set it to a function and return I'll just do this. Title is title, and then we can get that from the props in here. Title, and use some JSX magic. Save, and that should be dynamically populated, unless there's an error. Cannot read property join of undefined. Was that what I? That's not what I did. Return res. We'll just do a normal props thing here. Props, and then I'm gonna also wrap this in curlies and return the JSX on a separate line, so we could console log out the props and see what is being given to us. I'm gonna put that back to nothing for now. So we get URL, we don't get title. And I believe the query object is where we could add stuff from our server. So inside of our get function, we could add in a return. And we just do title is going to be next with NestJS. And once this rebuilds, I believe, there it is. Circular structure and get initial props. Oh, yeah, don't do this. Because res is the server response. So what we actually want is the query there. And there's our title. And out here is we're console logging this part. So this part is what's happening. This is happening inside the server. And this is quite a lot of stuff actually. But now we know we have a title, and we can add it to our actual title here. And I'm just gonna destructure it here from props, save, and then our title is updated. So easy peasy. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the basic setup of having Nest and Next together in one application.